Why the people who are most jealous of you are often the ones closest to you. Have you ever met someone? Someone who knows your story, knows where you started, knows your struggles, knows your fears. Someone who has sat at your table, walked beside you, laughed with you, confided in you. Someone who once said, "I'm proud of you." But now, something feels different. Their compliments sound forced. Their support feels thin. Their silence feels loud. You succeed, and they change. You grow, and they withdraw. You rise, and they quietly resent. And you wonder, what happened? Why does it feel like the closer we were, the colder they became? Today, we're going to talk about one of the most uncomfortable truths in human psychology. The people who are most jealous of you are rarely strangers. They are usually the ones who stood closest to you. Not because they are evil, not because they planned it, not because they hate you, but because of something far more human, something far more painful, and something most people never learn to recognize. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine this. You and your friend start at the same place. Same neighborhood, same school, same job, same dreams. You struggle together, fail together, complain together, encourage each other. You are equals, side by side. Then something changes. You get an opportunity, they don't. You grow faster, they don't. You find clarity, they stay confused. You move forward, they stay stuck. Slowly, without anyone saying it out loud, the balance shifts. And suddenly, you're not just friends anymore. You are a reminder of what's possible, a reminder of what they haven't done, a reminder of what they avoided, a reminder of what they feared. Every time they see you, they don't just see you, they see themselves, and they don't always like what they see. Jealousy isn't about wanting what you have. Most people misunderstand jealousy. They think jealousy means, I want what you have. But real jealousy is deeper than that. Real jealousy says, I wanted to be who you became. I believed I could do what you did. I thought I would be where you are. And now, I'm not. Jealousy is not about your success. It's about their disappointment in themselves. And the closer you are, the harder it hits. Why strangers rarely envy you. Here's something important. Strangers don't usually envy you deeply. Why? Because they don't compare themselves to you. They see you as different. Different background, different life, different path. They say, well, of course they succeeded. They're not like me. But close friends, family, old classmates, they can't say that because they know you're just like them, or at least you were. Same chances, same struggles, same fears. Which means if you did it, they could have too. And that thought is painful. You become a mirror. When you grow, you become a mirror, not a flattering mirror, a brutal one. A mirror that reflects missed chances, wasted time, unkept promises, abandoned dreams. You don't need to say anything. Your life says it for you. Every promotion, every achievement, every transformation, it whispers, you could have done this. And some people can't handle that whisper. So they try to silence it by resenting you. Why they don't admit it. Here's the tragedy. Most jealous people don't know they're jealous. They don't wake up thinking, I'm going to envy them today. No, they think they've changed. They're arrogant now. They think they're better than us. They forgot where they came from. They're fake. They got lucky. They don't deserve it. These are not truths. These are emotional defenses, ways to protect their ego. because admitting jealousy means admitting I'm disappointed in myself, and that's terrifying. The psychology of comparison. Humans compare themselves instinctively. It's wired into us. We measure our worth by proximity, not by distance. We compare ourselves to siblings, friends, coworkers, classmates, cousins, people who share our environment, because they feel like fair competition. When you surpass them, it feels personal, even when it's not. Why support turns into silence. Have you noticed this pattern? At first, they support you. They cheer, they encourage, they believe. But when you start winning consistently, they disappear. The messages stop, the calls slow, the enthusiasm fades. Why? Because watching you succeed hurts. Not because you're wrong, but because they're stuck. Your growth highlights their stagnation, and silence is easier than confrontation. The same level comfort zone. Most relationships are built on equality, not equality of money, equality of perceived status, of emotional standing, of life progress. When both people feel like on the same level, there is comfort, safety, understanding. But when one person evolves, the relationship destabilizes. Suddenly, one feels behind, and instead of growing, they resent. Why family jealousy hurts the most. Friends can walk away, family can't, which is why family jealousy is the most painful. They watched you grow, they remember your failures, they know your weak moments. So when you rise, it confuses them. Who do you think you are? You're not better than us. Don't forget where you came from. Translation, don't outgrow us, because your growth threatens their identity. The silent competition. Most jealousy is silent. No arguments, no fights, no open conflict. Just subtle behavior, passive comments, backhanded compliments, cold responses. I'm happy for you, I guess. That's cool, must be nice. Wow, you're busy now, huh? Small sentences, big emotions. Why they minimize your achievements. Have you noticed this? When you succeed, they downplay it. Anyone could do that. You just got lucky. That won't last. It's not that impressive. Why? Because if it's impressive, then their lack of action looks worse. So they shrink your victory to protect their pride. They miss the version of you who made them comfortable. Here's something rarely said. Some people loved you when you were insecure, when you doubted yourself, when you needed validation, when you were unsure. Because in that version, they felt superior, helpful, wise, important. Your growth changed that. Now you're confident, independent, self-directed. You don't need their approval, and that feels like abandonment to them. Jealousy often hides as concern. Sometimes jealousy wears a mask. It pretends to be care. Are you sure this is good for you? Don't get too ahead of yourself. You might fail. Be careful. It sounds loving, but underneath it's fear. Fear that you'll leave them behind. Fear of being left behind. Fear of facing their own inaction. Why they try to pull you back. Some people don't want to rise with you. They want you to fall back to them. So they criticize, discourage, doubt, question. Not because they hate you, but because they're scared. Scared of losing you. Scared of being left behind. Scared of facing their own inaction. The tragedy of untaken paths. Every human has an almost life. The life they almost lived. The dream they almost chased. The risk they almost took. The courage they almost had. When you live your dream, you awaken their almost, and it hurts deeply. Why some people become distant instead of hostile. Not everyone becomes bitter. Some just fade away. They still care, but it's painful to watch, so they distance themselves. It's emotional self-protection, not hatred.
Your growth forces a choice. When you grow, you force others to choose. Grow with you or stay where they are. Some rise, some remain, some resent. You don't choose for them, but your existence demands an answer. The difference between healthy reactions and toxic reactions. Healthy people say, "Wow, if they did it, maybe I can too." Toxic people say, "Who do they think they are?" Same situation, different mindset. Why you feel guilty for succeeding. Sometimes you feel bad for winning. You downplay your success, hide your joy, apologize for growing. Why? Because you sense their discomfort, and you try to shrink yourself to keep peace. But shrinking yourself helps no one.